What I've seen from Japanese people, just from our experience, is that they're not used to seeing a black baby.
I need somebody's help. So I don't want to raise baby in here maybe.
Japanese kids are very independent. They can take care of themselves. Hygiene is good. And you hear stories about it in elementary. Mixed kids and black kids are not treated well.
No. I don't do that. I don't want to work. I don't mean to work.
So they need to put somebody else. Your position's gone. The minute you fall pregnant, during labor, they would have to use a translator. Tell her to do that. You must relax.
They want to cut you open. They want to do a C-section. There's a financial incentive. They get an extra 10 grand if they do a C-section.
Happening.
Yeah, and they're having fun with each other, I guess. Oh, attention. Raising children in Japan is hard for me. Hi guys, it's your favorite drama queen right here, okay? So in today's video we're gonna be talking about raising children in Japan, whether the kid is foreigner or half Japanese. My guest will tell you all about it. So if you ever wonder what it's like to have a family in Japan, you're living outside Japan, or you're thinking of starting a family in this country of the rising sun, or you're just curious about that aspect of Japan, this video is for you. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Ila. I go by Crazy La on my YouTube channel right here and my Instagram as well as my TikTok. I live in Japan. I've been here for 4 years now, and I make videos about Japan, my life in Japan, and others people experience in Japan. So if you're into this kind of content, or if you just like my pretty little face, which is full of makeup today and I'm having a bad hair day, so bear with me, you should subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. So now let's get into the business. Wait, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be chaotic because we're gonna have 2 kids in the video. So if it's noisy at some point, we're gonna have 2 cute angels around. Okay, bear with us. Okay, let's go.
My name is Sakura. I was born in Kagoshima Prefecture, South Japan. My origin is Yakushima and Kirishima. I work as a public relation for Sound Museum aka Vision in Shibuya.
How you doing? My name is Kenneth Fields. I am from Texas, United States. I've been in Japan for 2014 and 2017, and then from 2019 to current. I'm currently in the U.S. military. I've recently been married for a year in Japan, and we recently had a son. Look forward to talking about that.
Hello, my name is Tumelo Angela Mukoma. I'm from Lesotho, and I've been living in Japan for 3 years now. I'm married. I've been married for a year. I have a little baby boy. He's 1, so I'm excited to talk about my experience of giving birth in Japan and raising my son in Japan.
Guys, thank you so much for accepting to participate in this video. I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know how to put my words together. First question I'm gonna be asking you guys together is, how was the process for birthing the kids that you have today? How was the administration like? How was the culture like in the hospital? How did it go compared to, especially for you, your country or any other country you've been?
The pregnancy care was very easy. So I was 3 months pregnant working before COVID-19 hit, and when COVID got real serious, I decided to take maternity leave. So during my maternity leave, I would go trekking and hiking.
You were hiking when you were pregnant? That was it. How far were you pregnant?
8 months.
8 months. Is that okay?
Yeah, doctors say need to do that in Japan. I don't know with any other country, but in Japan, especially my hospital, it's like natural way, like natural birth.
I was pregnant when the beginning of the year when COVID-19 hit too, and well, my immediate thought was, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this, or how are we going to do this, you understand? And me understanding, me having a low tolerance of pain, I was immediately saying that, yeah, I'm going to like go through the whole epidural, to ease the pain or whatever. But we ended up having a natural birth at home. We had a home birth.
I didn't know that.
So I know it's something we've never actually shared. But yes, we had a home birth.
That's amazing. You were okay with that?
Yeah, so the thing was, because it was during COVID,
yeah.
I couldn't go into the hospital. I had to wait outside and wait for 3 days. So, you know, during her whole process, I wouldn't have been there to be supportive.
Yeah.
So we was looking at alternatives. And then home birth came up, and we was like, you want to do it at the house? Let's do it at the house.
Oh my goodness, that's such a big decision.
It was different. I never, you know, I've never seen it, but so it was our first time doing it. You know, everybody used to do it at the hospital. It was also different because we never did it without drugs.
Yeah.
I never seen anybody do it without drugs. So, you know, telling the women in my family, oh yeah, you're doing the home birth, like, no epidural? Like, oh, you're so
Shocking.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so great.
I mean, it's shocking to me.
But when you think about it, before hospitals, this is how women used to always give birth. So with the whole pandemic and everything going on, when hospitals had all these restrictions, you know, it was more so like we being pushed to, all right, it's time to go back to the old way, the traditional way, the natural way.
I think we went to 3 or 4 different gynaes and hospitals because they were not actually giving us the option to have our birth plan. You understand? We had a plan that we wanted. We went on to want to have it very, very natural. Do you understand? I mean, Japan already offers natural births, right? So we wanted him to be there, right? So what was different is that when we went through the midwifery route, so we had a midwifery where they wanted us to give them our placenta.
Is that common?
It's
I was looking into it,
Yeah.
and then come to find out there's stem cells in the placenta. Stem cells can be for anything. Skin, getting younger.
collagen, those things.
So they-
I do for skin
It's
too.
good for skin.
Yeah.
So like that treatment, they usually sell it to foreigners in Japan. So and that treatment's like 4 million yen. So they make a lot of money off of taking the stem cells from the placenta. But what they tell the people, what they tell the mothers, the families, like it's biohazard, it's dangerous. Or they use.
People believe placenta is dangerous?
Well, no, that's just what they tell them. And you know, the doctor in the white coat, you're just like, yes,
Yes.
dangerous, and then you just here take it. That's why we did the home birth, because the home birth was more allowing. So I was like, no, we want to keep the placenta. So we prefer to do it at the house, which gave us more control.
The setup with the Japan's government, it really helps expecting mothers because they pay for a large amount of hospital fees. So what helped us is that too, like even though we're having a home birth, we still got to be able to pay that large amount from the government. Yeah, the government helped us pay that large amount of money that we could have been paying at the hospital to the midwives. You understand? So we only paid like a little fee. That had to do with like taking care of them in the first few days. It was good. The setup with giving birth in Japan, I would say it's very good. It's better than my country, to be honest.
Wow.
They're so supportive. I would, if I could, I would do it again in Japan.
I'll do that.
I say the same thing for America.
Yeah.
Japan is better because in America, they want to cut you open. They want to do a C-section. There's a financial incentive. They get an extra 10 grand if they do a C-section. Whereas in Japan, it's flipped. A natural birth, they get 470,000 yen, but for a C-section, they get 420. The doctors are incentivized to push you to do natural. Whereas in the States, they get paid more for doing a C-section.
Yes. Same thing in our country.
I did C-section, but I want to try natural birth.
Right.
3 days. Birth process was a little bit difficult, and emergency C-section I did. They said the umbilical cord being wrapped around my daughter.
Your neck.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Was the language barrier hard for you?
Yes, it
But-
was.
Was it really? I mean,
We had to use it.
It worked itself out because it was a speed bump. It wasn't a roadblock.
Okay.
It was more of a speed bump. Just something we had to get over without speaking Japanese. Because we had the phone translator at first, and most people were just like,
The phone translator.
So even when I was like giving birth during labor, they would have to use a translator. Tell her to do the. You must relax.
Oh my god! Was it scary at some point?
Oh yes.
it was concerns. Like for
was.
example, they were saying that if she delayed in the process of pushing because she wasn't dilated enough, that we're going to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So that created a bit of concern.
But I want to know if your work gave you paternity leave for you and maternity leave.
Yeah, I have. Wow. I heard woman 5 weeks in States.
Yeah, just about 5 minutes.
And my husband used to work on base when I'm pregnant, so he took 2 weeks maternity leave.
So in Japan, they give you how long?
They gave me 2 weeks. Our situation is different, me being in the Navy.
At the time I got pregnant, like my contract was already close to ending. It was like a March, and my first trimester was bad, morning sickness. So then we made a decision of, okay, you know what? I should just stop working since March.
Where were you working?
I was a teacher. Actually, I was a language teacher, and I was teaching kindergarten. Yes, around this age, 1 and 2 years old. With what I've seen with other teachers that got pregnant, they do get a leave, a paid leave. I think like a year and a half or 6 months, I believe. But they do get taken care of by the workplace. You know, we talked earlier, you said that you want to be with her for 2 years. I love that.
I'm surprised they gave her
see?
1 year and a half. I'm like,
Oh, see,
They don't
that's
do it nowhere else.
they don't do that anywhere else.
and when you
that's
go
what I'm
back to
saying,
work, so when you go back to your work, there's no change. You get back to your initial position, same salary.
I don't know, but depends on COVID-19 hit situation, because
There you go.
my company, our company running nightclub and DJ bar, so they can't open right now. So no position right now.
Okay. How do you find the parenting support in Japan from the government and from the company you work?
I think that it's good. I give it a thumbs up because the city hall that's nearest to us, the Yokosuka City Hall, really reached out to us and said that they're there for if we have questions about the baby's growth. You understand? There was one time where a lady would come and check his health, his growth, like everything else like that. So there's a lot of support. For other parents, I've seen that they give out an allowance for the kids.
Oh.
Yes, there's an allowance that kids receive monthly, which is really helpful to mothers, especially the mothers that do struggle, that don't have a husband to support them.
Japanese people sometimes be ashamed to ask to city hall, you know. I don't know if it's pride or not, I don't know, but it's not a good thing to too much ask about benefit. Why? You should ask.
That's
You should ask. Please go to city hall.
Please go to City Hall.
Or work office.
Yep.
Yeah, they have good option. Yes. So don't be ashamed ask about benefits.
Yeah.
Especially people working at city hall, they can't speak English well. So please contact me.
Does your child go to daycare? They don't go to daycare.
No,
No, they don't.
Why did you choose not to?
because I don't need. Because I
You have a year and a half.
maternity leave. Yeah, maximum 2 years. So I extended like one time.
You can extend it?
Yes, max 2 years.
This is so chill.
But depends on company. So company pressure come back to work.
So we plan on homeschooling him.
I wanna do that. Let's do it.
And the parents should be the ones providing the information, nurturing it. Like my dad said that. Mama told me that. And you know, use that as definitive thing versus what teacher said, and then you use that to go against what your parents say. So it disconnects that being locked, both of us being locked up in a job. Whereas she's a school teacher, I'm like, why don't you just homeschool? Like, you know, wouldn't it be better if we just homeschool and get some students? And also, because I'm like, you know, the way the world's going is pushing to be where we gotta be more self-sufficient.
Yep.
And you need, you know, it gotta be community-based, where, you know, we can rely on the left and right and not on some government entity to do for us.
So yeah, with his homeschooling, we plan on having me teach him, like, for example, language, English, right?
Okay.
In my language. And based on other subjects, this is something we're definitely either going to research or have another teacher, somebody else work hand in hand on doing this. You understand what I mean? But it's for the best interest of his learning. And with homeschooling, it's very interesting because there's no limitation.
How much is the average daycare in Japan?
Okay, I really don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
City hall is cheap, I think.
So you wanted to register as a nanny in the city
In
hall?
city hall because I you know, in Japan, the kids, mom leave the kids a lot, you know. It's a problem. That's the problem.
Right, that's the problem.
But why? Why do they do that? Because they have a long
Work.
The government made a survey in Japan, and 60% of the Japanese population say it's very hard for them to raise a kid in Japan. Mom usually, because apparently they want to get back to work. But when they go back to work, they lose their position or they have.
You get replaced very easily.
During your paid leave, your maternity leave.
Still, they need the wheel to keep on going.
So
they need to put somebody else. Your position's gone. The minute you fall pregnant, some people believe that it's over for them. So this is why they don't see motherhood or being at home as a positive thing. They want to quickly go back to work. Yeah.
From a corporate position, if you have a woman in a high position, they see it as a liability.
How is the grandparent support like?
No.
Because I'm from Kagoshima, so my parents are living so far away from me. Especially this situation, COVID-19, I can't visit all of them, you know.
If there was no corona or you were living together, how would that be usually? How does that go in Japan traditionally?
My mom can watch my kids. Yeah, usually people do that.
Do you think you would go back to work and leave your kids?
No. I don't do that. I don't want to work. I don't mean to work. Kids are treasures, so I don't need money.
How did Japanese culture and Japanese values affected the way you deal with your kid or the way you think you have to deal with them?
I think there used to be culture that separates Japanese and other race. There are still some area like that, countryside. Now there is almost no negative impact now, so I think it's clearly became international sense. Sensibility people who have been abroad tend to look down on people who have never been abroad. People who are not interested in foreign culture from such a reality do not want to be more involved with people who think overseas. Conservative thinking.
Conservative.
You
see this in daycare too. You see this in kindergarten. I've taught in kindergarten where there are like a few kids that were mixed and some were complete foreign. Like you see that there's a difference in how they handle the kids. And you hear stories about it in elementary. Mixed kids and black kids are not treated well just because of who they are, just because of how they look. So it affects us as parents because we're at home, we don't know, or at work. So the people that are in Japan, they have a very conservative mindset of how they raise their kids. And yes, of course, they believe that their kids should not be mixed up with foreign kids, maybe in terms of like mannerisms. Because of course, naturally, Japanese kids behave in a different way than Western kids behave. But I think that we can take from each other the positives. Instead, when I taught kids, Japanese kids, they don't know how to say they have a problem. They keep it to themselves, they're quiet. And I believe that it's not a good thing. Because when you're really hurt or we can't help you. So foreign kids are expressive. I'm hurt, they can say they're real. So this thing, that aspect can be switched and it's okay to say, hey, I'm hurt here, teacher, can you help me? Or mommy, that's a good thing. Say when you have a problem. And with the switch side, if we can be able to teach our Western kids independence the way that the Japanese culture teaches their kids, that's the best takeaway.
I like that about Japanese kids.
The Japanese kids are very independent. They can take care of themselves. Hygiene is good. They can go on a train by themselves. They can walk. That's something that we can adopt as in the West for our kids.
We are athletes, so I don't care about Japanese, American. I don't care about that. Humans. Yeah. So I changed my mind after I went back my grandparents' house. They're living in Yakushima. Yakushima, a lot of mixed kids living together.
Oh, nice.
Yes, like almost hippie town, you know.
Hippie town.
Yes, I stay.
That's great.
Week in hippie town and change my mind everything. I'd be more free. Before going to this town, I was I can't say the truth. It like typical Japanese. I used to be like typical.
Right.
Yeah. But after going back hometown, people are hippie, I realized. I didn't know that when I was a child, but I realized now they are hippie. Yeah. So I don't want to raise baby in here maybe. So I want to go back Yakushima soon.
Why is that? Why you don't want her to be raised around here?
Parents working hard and parents don't teach good thing to children, so children mind is a little bit different. Countryside kids is more real. So people think Japanese, typical Japanese like Tokyo people almost. So countryside people is different. Countryside people say the truth.
From what I understood, you guys don't want him. You guys don't want to raise him here as well. You don't want to.
I mean, it's not that I want to. It's more of the way the situation is playing
Yeah.
out. So it looks like we're gonna be doing it in the States.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still going to do it here. Still going to do it here.
Okay.
To stay. Yeah, definitely. Homeschooling, yeah, and other activities here.
Do you feel pressured somehow when your kid is around Japanese children?
I live in Ayase City, so it's a lot of mixed kids there. Yeah.
So she doesn't feel lost.
Yeah. I feel pressure when I was a kid. People bullying me actually because I'm not normal, you know. I am abnormal, you know.
You're special.
Yes, I know now. I know, but you know, inner childhood.
That's dramatic, yes.
Because I'm so active and my voice is too loud and I singing every time and I'm different, you know. Even I am Japanese, people bully me because different. So people just want to say something to different people. You know? So I don't want to put kids in school, you know. Dangerous. Maybe it's from my trauma.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put there anyway because everybody close-minded.
What she mentioned about kids pointing at her husband and shouting for her, he's experienced it too. He was in a stroller and we were just walking down our neighborhood and these two Japanese kids come over, they stop and then they say, little kids, elementary, so they say, hi, they stop and then I say to my kid, I say hello. He does that. He's like, hi. And then they say in Japanese, American, and they start talking. And they just so they stop with a stroller and then they say that and they just leave. So I mean I can't take out anything on the kids because it's something they get taught.
Exactly.
It's something that comes from either their parents and at school.
I like to spectate. I don't like to intervene.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I believe the same way God look at us, and you know, He don't jump in and everything that, even if it go left from my perspective or go wrong, He lets us learn through it. So I do the same thing with the kids. Like, I just spectate. If it gets out of hand or to a point where it's dangerous or something like that, I'll intervene. But if it's bullying in a mild manner, I need to know how he responds to it. Wow. So I'll watch and spectate it, and it's more of an allowing thing. To where I see how he deals with it, because I can also teach him how to cope with it.
What language do you speak at home with her?
Japanese and English.
How about you guys?
Well, I only got one language under my belt, so I only got English.
That is American. That is typical American.
Okay. English, Sesotho, some Japanese, very broken Japanese, Chinese. I get afraid of like confusing him sometimes because I mix so many languages to him. So I want him to be able to communicate with me and my parents, my family. And when we reach somebody that speaks Chinese, he can be able to understand.
That's very nice.
So yes.
Did your child face any sort of discrimination for being different in Japan?
What I've seen from Japanese people, just from our experience, is that they're not used to seeing a black baby. You see black people, well, black baby is different because you know it's not very often black babies just walking down the street. So it was more like a very big. It was more of a curiosity. Oh, white. Yeah. Old people, women, old men, everybody just want to see the baby. Not used to seeing black babies in general. So it wasn't discrimination, it was more of a curiosity and more of an interest. It was like,
People just say kawaii.
What is your advice for people who are considering to build a family in Japan?
Oh, it is a loaded question because that's to say everybody uses the same template. So based off your template would determine whether or not it is functional for you to have a child or would it be detrimental. You guys both work. the child doesn't get the benefit. He gets the short end of the stick because he don't have his mom and dad present. Whereas if one parent was always present, then you have one nurturer. For example, for me, I don't have the belief that I need to be there every single day. I believe quality time is needed. Not every time, but just quality time. Like set up days where me and dad went out and did this. Not every day, but just there was a day. Advice-wise, like I said, it's based off of the template the person set up. The way it's set up for us right now, where I work and she doesn't have to work at all, works perfectly.
I just like them to know that they should have a clear understanding of what they want to do. Understand? Japan is a very nice place to raise to have a family. Understand? Yes. So they should understand. They should have basic understanding or ability to speak Japanese. It can help them a lot because they can be able to get all the information that has to do with community, living, like the city hall, how the city hall can help you, assist you, and everything like that. And a community is very important. And how you want to do it, if they're going to stay at home or like what my husband said, or if your child is going to be enrolled in the school system, and they should have all information about which schools are accepting and which schools are good for the kind of upbringing you want for your kids. So there's a lot of things to be taken into consideration. But yeah, research. Be open to learning the language, most definitely, because that will help you. People will be more open to communicating with you, because I feel like Japanese people get afraid to talk to you because you can't speak Japanese, because how are we going to communicate with you? So if you can, a little, even one of you will help. Just that will help.
Japanese people, just worry about language.
They worry about language.
So they do weird action sometimes, but it's not mean bad, just don't know how to treat, don't know how to do, don't know how to act to foreigner, because a lot of people never going to overseas before, they stay in whole life in Japan, so they don't know, so sometimes do bad thing, but it's not bad means you need to teach positive way, don't fight, positive way, and no look down, please don't look down. They have pride too, because humans, so if they push to do, you are bad, they don't listen,
They just shut it off.
Yes, so I want to just talking positive, make the share their experience, everything. Yes. And put together, it will be nice.
Also find people like Sakura,
which is hard.
Find families or couples that have the same, you understand, have the same mindset.
What would you suggest to the Japanese government and to companies in Japan to enhance or ease raising children in Japan?
I would say to this that the Japanese government should ease up on this replacement thing, or this pressure they have on women. You understand? Because I know a lot of women that do want to settle down, be married, have their lives as children, but with their children, but the whole pressure, the workforce pressure that they have for earning. I understand their benefits that come, but the whole dynamic should be ease up on the dad and the mom. Dads should be able to stay with their families, despite this whole COVID situation. A lot of things happened. A lot of families experienced each other negatively because they were getting to know each other for the first time. The father was really understanding what it's like to be a stay-at-home mom, like the challenges she has to go through. You understand what I mean? So I think that happens. You understand? It should be normal for a father to be a part of their child's life, or their husband, or their wives. You understand what I mean? day-to-day activity. Yes. So the government should ease up on, or the companies should ease up on them, on the working men. So they should be there with their families, spend time with their families, and be there and contribute, so that there'll be less tension.
For Japanese, go vote. That's all.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because government system is bad. Top is all traditional Japanese.
It's always that way.
You know, top. Top. So need to break top first and change everything.
By
Out of the head.
Okay. Okay guys, so this is pretty much it for the video. It's a wrap, and thank you so much guys for accepting to do this video with me. I know you had so many things to do, but you accepted to come all the way here in Tokyo to record this video with me. Yay, that's amazing! And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you have more questions about raising children in Japan, please feel free to contact them. I will put their handles, their social media in the description box of the video. And don't forget to subscribe. Guys, you didn't, come on guys. Okay, I'll do it again. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. 見てくれてありがとう。